Welcome back to the North American Challengers League, presented by Subway. I'm Mazel. I'm joined by Beatdown Boulevard, and what a game number one. Team Liquid Challengers, they had the lead, they had control, until they didn't. Maryville makes some quick decisions, and they turned the game around.
It's so crazy, Lennon. I feel like I've seen this movie before. Like it was just the other day. There was a team. I'm thinking the color green. Is that giving you anything?
I think it is. I think I remember that.
Right.
Team Liquid are going to remember that in their nightmares. Unfortunately for them, though, they really need to try to find a way to turn it around. But I want to give a shout out to Subway because our sponsor is incredible in its own right. Subway not only coming in to represent for NACL, but they also have been pretty incredible with their sidekicks. So make sure you go try those out. Make sure you type in a little bit of fun in the chat. Make sure you give some love to Subway. But themselves, I think a Subway sidekick might be needed for Team Liquid after that one.
Maybe a couple. Maybe they need all three.
A cookie, a churro.
Yeah, cookie, churro, pretzel. Just give them all of them. I really think that's tough. We're especially thinking it's compounding with those losses to FlyQuest Challengers. Again, really close games where just a couple of bad decisions end up causing you to lose. That's the two plays where they're trying to over-aggress to try and get into Maryville's base. And Maryville, they are a scrappy team. They are an aggressive team. You give them these small moments to, give them fights that they can potentially win. They'll take them. They love to fight, Lennon. And if they find the tiniest bit of an advantage, they'll push it. No questions asked.
Yeah, and again, it comes back to the flexibility that this roster has shown in the play styles, right? This was maybe not the exact carry performance that Yuji would want, but that flexibility, the Swiss Army knife potential of this guy shows a lot of that strength of Maryville and the way they're able to play around a lot of picks. Spyrax confidently picking up the Yone in game number one. You also had the Varus, which had been banned completely away from Scary Jerry in previous games. And this roster has been able to really adapt to the Fearless system.
Yeah, 100%. And it's really interesting to see what they've been able to, especially this bot lane, has been able to pull out in the back half of the split there. This time around, that Varus Lulu, which we were hoping for looking at the draft, ended up being a strong pairing, but now that's not available anymore. True. Now we're going to see what else they're going to bring out on the day, and we've seen some really exciting compositions from both of these teams. Most exciting one for me is that Ivern for Keel, even though I love seeing him play things like the Nunu, a comp that they played a couple times in that regular split. Ivern, 2 marksmen, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, a couple big picks, though, as you had alluded to, gone now going into game number 2. As we get into draft, you'll have a little snippet of those. Some big picks, I feel like, off the table for Team Liquid, but as well as Maryville. But we're getting into it now. No switch up of sides. Team Liquid on the blue side again, Maryville on the red.
They want to stay on this blue side. They want to focus on that first big pick they can get for themselves. Now, maybe they're looking to get the Varus for spawn. That's no longer available for Scary Jerry. I'm wondering if Maryville are just going to ban that away and remove that opportunity from him.
I think it could be a good call. We do get the Talia, the Renata ban away towards Maryville, try to take away that Kalista-Renata combo that they don't want to give over to Scary Jerry. That Senna and Rumble ban. Jenkins, a known Rumble enjoyer, but also just taking away some of that scaling safety that the Senna provides.
Yeah, right. And I do like the Talia ban, particularly against Maryville, because both UG and Spyrax are willing to lock that one in. Only a couple teams are really willing to flex Talia into that jungle, even though I think it is a strong pick at the moment there. So it's cool to see that respect going through. Okay, so the Varus ban does go out, which kind of makes me think we just pick Ashe here, right, guys?
Right?
It's up and available. No, it's Nautilus. Are we afraid of Nautilus Smolder on 2-3? Maybe that's what we're thinking.
That might be it as well. Smolder still being available here. I do like the Nautilus for Kim Down. I think there is the potential for a lot of that good engage play we saw from him at the latter half of this split, but also last year as well. I think a lot of that engage play started turning up for him. So like that they go with a forward-handed aggression, at least for Team Liquid Challengers, but the Jinx lock-in for Maryville signals they want to play around Scary Jerry.
Wow, and to be fair, in the back half of that game, when Maryville was starting to turn it around, he was outputting a lot of DPS on the Varus, so he's going to be fulfilling that similar role this game too. I'm wondering if, since you know what support you're playing into, most likely, I think we're probably just going to be able to pick that for themselves, or do they want their first pick at a jungler there for Yuji?
There
it is the Xin Zhao.
was banned away in the second half last time around, so just going to grab that one first and foremost. A very skirmish-heavy jungler for a guy who loves to skirmish in his own right. I do wonder what Keel wants to pick up in this first phase as a response.
All right, so the opportunity for the Smolder does end up coming through for the side of TLC. So there it is. You have a big win condition in that late game. Remember, guys, we are on 14-5, so for the remainder of playoffs. So those nerfs that came through with Smolder on the live patch at the moment don't actually apply here.
You do get the Renekton for Jenkins, too. Yeah, great champ. I'm happy you said that, and no further information needed.
Oh, what else is there to say?
Yeah, he's just a great champ.
Anyways, little baby Elder Dragon.
Renekton locked in for Jenkins is a big one. We saw Niles run rampant across the back line last time around. A little bit more of that slice and dice potential for Jenkins on that side. The Braum locked in with the Jinx. Good combo there for the bot side of Maryville.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. You can absorb a lot of that initial damage coming through from Smolder. It will be tough late game because of how strong that he's going to end up being. But those precious seconds could be a big difference maker. I mean, for Maryville, like, you're looking immediately when you see champs like Jinx, Diego or Ari, whatever, you're looking for that first kill. You're looking for that reset. You want to get it as quickly as you possibly can. So being able to eat up damage, slow people down, get people knocked up with Glacial Fissure is what Zyko is going to be looking to do.
We already get a ton of top lane focus, at least for both sides here. We get the Gnar banned away towards Niles. The Jax is going to be banned towards Keel, trying to take away some of that jungle matchup. The Ivern as well. So Keel getting a lot of love in the second phase from Maryville.
Yeah, I think that's a really good call. I like both those bans because I'm immediately thinking when you see Smolder, the rest of the map, Lennon, it needs to be able to do something. That's why you're seeing that early
it's just
Renekton.
The dragon that matters.
Yeah. No, but you need something that can skirmish well in the earlier parts of the game. You want to fight for grubs. You want to fight for top side. That's how you're going to get Smolder to this mid to late game where he is just absolutely filthy broken. So being able to target that champ pool of Keel, that's going to make it, that would have made it easier for them to do so is good.
I think so as well. The Aatrox was locked in for Niles, so a little bit of late game strength there in terms of the advance you can make in the back line. And Niles did that so many times on the Renekton in game number 1. Yeah. It is the Ziggs locked in here, though, for Team Liquid.
Wow, that's an interesting one. I mean, you have a lot of...
two insurance policies.
Yeah, exactly. Your late game, you're going to have a lot of wave clear. It's going to be really hard to siege this team because they're going to just be ripping these waves to shreds. But I'm okay, Viego, that's more of what I'm expecting here. You need something that's going to be able to fight. And I'm already seeing this top side. It's about to get very heavy-handed.
It is indeed, and I love to see Keel taking the onus on him on the Viego. Again, we talked to Keel beforehand. He's like, one of us, me or Roamer, is going to be on a carry. It just is trying to figure out who's going to be it in that particular draft. This time, It feels like both of them are going to have a heavy hand in how Team Liquid win this one. It is that final locking up the Karma for Maryville University.
Wow, I can't even believe that I forgot about it. But yeah, the fact that Karma's in, it just gets to this late point of the draft is pretty wild. This is exactly what Maryville are looking for here. You have both bot lanes that are looking to scale, looking to get to those later parts of the game. But Maryville have the top side that is really good at skirmishing, really good at fighting things out. So if Maryville can get that early lead and close things out, I see no reason why they won't be able to go up to match point.
Yeah, I wonder a little bit of the difference in pathing here for both sides as well, because obviously it's about how quickly you can get Yuji and Spyrax combining with the Karmas and Zao and get some of those skirmishes going into Keel's jungle. But on Keel's side of it, either finding kills early, utilizing that top side of the map with the Renekton in some way, shape, or form, that is going to be important. So all eyes on both junglers going early into this second game.
Yeah, agreed. And that's why I'm really interested to see how TLC are going to try and get this Smolder to that baby Elder Dragon point, because that's going to be the most important thing for them this game.
It's all about the Dragon here, and it's all about Team Liquid bouncing back after a tough Game 1 loss. We're in Game number 2 now. Maryville versus Team Liquid Challengers. Who you got? Make sure you're spamming in chat TLC or MU to decide who you think's going to take the dub here. Team Liquid tried for a level 1 last time around. This time, Maryville, they have Braum, so they are the level 1 team.
That's right, and I think that's why TLC are wisely not doing anything very aggressive at all, because that Braum is in the game there for Zyko. So, like he said, spam in the chat who you think is going to win this game. Maryville struck first in that Game 1. They have a pretty good they're in a pretty good position to do so again. My immediate concerns with TLC's draft is that you kind of highlighted it, Lennon. you have 2 insurance policies. But my problem with that ends up being Roamer on the Ziggs, you're not going to be as effective, as impactful in the early game. You're just looking to clear. You're just looking to farm. And Spyrax, he'll be able to get push. He'll be able to sync up with his jungler, meaning that there's a lot of agency for Maryville in this Maryville University in this early game.
There definitely is. And again, a lot of pressure also being put onto this series as a whole. And you know, obviously a ticket to a live finals at the Riot Games Arena on the line for these 2 teams. And I think when we talked about it coming into the series, obviously it's a return to potential greatness for Team Liquid Challengers, who haven't known that top mountaintop since 2022. And for Maryville, it'll be a first time reaching out for a collegiate squad who has run rampant around our league.
And now we're wondering about jungle pathing. Looking like we have both these junglers starting on the same side of the map. We're likely going to just full clear towards the bot side, see if there's a play that is happening and respond to it. But I'm really looking at that first grub spawn to be the point of contention for both of these teams, just because of how topside focused things should be in this early game.
How quickly we get action up there as well. I love that Team Liquid, it's just Ziggs inherent in their system now since APA was around. He's just so slowly but surely taking over the organization there one by one. I do want to point out that Keel is spotted out on vision. Thank you so much, Kai, our observer, for showing that one out. But it is important to think about because both junglers are literally sprinting a relay race down to bot side.
Yeah, they are. And even though the ward didn't necessarily spot out Yuji, just the information that those Raptors are down, they may have even seen him pull it into the push. They should know that Yuji's on this side of the map too. So again, I'm not expecting very much in terms of actual fighting on this bottom side. I'm expecting it's going to be on this top side here, and why it's a big deal for Jenkins to be able to get this extra wave in. He gets this free base because he knows Yuji is on the other side of the map, and he should be able to just walk it back with his first buy in time for the grub spot.
Scary Jerry and Co, they get the push in on bot side. They'll take a ward as well, and that will just enable Yuji to take that first scuttle. As he will do that, pressure in the bot side is important to think about for Maryville if they want to try to make anything happen with this Braum combo. Zyko can get out on the map, and this combo becomes lethal when it's Karma, Zinzal, and Braum.
Yeah. Right, Yuji actually, like he wants to stay a little longer, but that's a really nice defensive ward. Yeah, that's a really nice defensive ward coming through there. I didn't quite catch who dropped it, but it's going to spot Yuji out. Keel knows he's safe to go ahead and do this Scuttle Crab. And now we're going to have to see if Keel can actually get that respawn Raptors. I don't think he will.
We still have had a very respectful pathing in the early parts, and I think both teams realizing that even though they had some late game scaling options last game, they got a little bit hectic earlier than maybe expected. So this time played it a lot more smoothly, a lot more safely. We do have objectives coming up in about 30 seconds. Rift Heralds, or at least not Rift Heralds, the Grubbies were not a big focus last game after the first tussle. We wonder if that changes here in game number 2.
I think so.
Ghost
pop?
I don't think Zyko has the damage to stay here. Scary Jerry gonna have to burn his flash. Now Spawn with that ghost wants to chase them down. He does have flash to try to get Scary Jerry. Not gonna go for it just yet.
Woo! Couple summoner spells blown, but again, Scary Jerry finds himself in this bot lane matchup with no subs. I like the aggression from Spawn and Kim down to get Scary Jerry in this position. Now you can see Keel's going to be able to easily grab those first spawn of grubs. They're just going to let it go on the side of MU. And there's that opportunity for Keel to punish the fact that Scary Jerry is flashless the next couple of minutes.
They also got the wave crash on bot side too, which is pretty good. But yeah. Telegrubbies episode 1 fully watched by Keel. What do you think we're learning today on the episode?
I think we're learning how to take down structures very quickly. And how to make friends.
That's better. Okay, I was going to say, take it straight. That feels a little bit rough for cartoons.
Yeah, that probably...
Oh, no, Spyrax. Okay, he walked towards him. There's the satchel charge. Oh, he can't get him. He has the flash, the Mega Inferno Bomb. Not going to be enough.
Not quite. Roamer did lose a bit of health in that exchange, so it means Yuji got spotted, though. Close.
Gonna dodge out of the anchor there. Spyrax just hovering over. He has level 6 available to him. Yuji gonna take the fight because Zyko is joining. Oh no, Spyrax. He takes the bait into the shroud and first blood for Keel.
Yeah, that's a little awkward. There was a pink ward right there, so you should know that. You should know where Keel is, or at least where you should be in the Herald path. But it's first blood. Feels good for Keel on this Viego, who's going to be that big carry threat later on into this game. This first gank was a really nice place satchel from Roamer to be able to keep Spyrax locked up. Flash is gone. And now hopefully we see the rest of this play too, because I'm really curious. You see it right there. Yuji has the pink ward. It spotted him out. And now he's gone. Guys, where do we think he is? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Lennon?
Oh, goodness. That is, yeah, there should be some tape reviewed on that one for Maryville. As they do end up taking that first blood for Team Liquid. It is Maryville who will strike back with a bit of revenge and take first Dragon.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the cost of playing Smolder. You can't fight Drakes until you get to that 225 stack mark. So the nice thing is that the Drake didn't go down immediately for the side of Maryville, and the top side of Maryville is actually having a pretty good time this game. I mean, you have a kill and assist for the mid-jungle of this team.
Oh, lollipop, man. That feels real bad. They will see Keel here. Did try to make a lane gank, but Keel being very active in this game, number 2. It's very important, as we said in the draft.
It is, and again, this comp does have a good amount of burst damage. My concern with Roamer playing the Ziggs was that early game, maybe he wouldn't be able to have enough impact. But the fact that he has been, and the TLC are leading, means this late game is going to look really good for TLC if they keep this pace.
Roamer also has about 20 CS lead over Spyrax in the mid lane. And that's going to be real good for the Ziggs. As much pressure as you can get around that lane is going to help you play elsewhere. Now Keel trying to spot out Niles in transition. They have some really good warding from TLC so far.
Yeah, they've been keeping an eye out for the top laner of MU, who we know just looks for any moment that he can roam and try and help the rest of the map.
How many times did he go mid last game? It was like 3 or 4 in the first like 10 minutes. I don't know.
I mean, that's just the typical Niles experience. So it's good that TLC have scouted this out and are aware of how he likes to play the game. And it's important too this is what we praise for this roster. I mean, they play the map really nicely in early, mid, and late game. It's just these oopsies. I'm going to call them oopsies, Lennon, because that's the nice way of putting it, that have cost them some pretty critical series.
Definitely has been some oopsies. Some nightmarish oopsies, if you will.
Yeah, yes, I will.
Oh. Super Mega Death Rocket goes a little bit wide. I love that we're back to the meta that we have the Super Mega Death Rocket and the Mega Inferno Bomb. Now we just need Milio in here for the Ultra Mega Fire Kick, and then you just say all of those abilities and you sound really cool.
Dude, I gotta say, whoever decides the names of abilities, I like you. I respect you. Even Smolder's abilities, they're pretty funny. Like I like abilities like that, whether they're just silly and goofy or they're just like really epic. You can't go wrong.
They're really epic, and whoever did the audio for Mom definitely,
oh my God,
deserves an award there. Now we see Maryville try to play around this bot side now. It is important to start getting some gold under Scary Jerry's pockets if he wants to contest with the Smolder late game. Yuji is here, Keel in response.
Yeah, worth noting, they cleared the vision so Yuji would get the fast path, but that pink ward means they don't know Keel is in the area.
Roamer's on his way as well. He has the Mega Inferno Bomb to pop over here. Yuji's going to take the fight, potentially. Wind does not become lightning, but the percussive blows rain down. That's Mom being called here, too. And Team Liquid, they are actually on the back end of a really tough fight here. Glacial Fissure, Mega Inferno Bomb on a 3. Mega Death Rocket as well. Scary Jerry's getting excited. The kill with the Zyko. The stun connects on a Roamer, and you get the zap. The kill isn't there. They can't get the Mantra Q, but the auto attack from Spyrax will get it.
So this time it's Maryville who comes out on top. They managed to get some critical gold into the pockets of, well, it ends up being Spyrax and not necessarily Scary Jerry, but it's still big that they can get some pressure onto this Smolder. Hey, Yuji, I like that he was still in the area, recognizing that there was a play to be made. So him showing up, him being able to buy time, absorb damage with the Crescent Guard for Spyrax to get here was what made the big difference.
that Glacial Fissure as well across the middle. The Mega Inferno Bomb actually not getting that much value. You just don't have the damage yet as Roamer, and he just gets caught between a rock and a hard place. Spyrax coming in clutch. But now we go back to picture-in-picture, and those grubbies being watched for a second time by Team Liquid Challengers. They're going to be learning a lot today, Beatdown.
Not only that, they're about to achieve Grub-ageddon as long as they secure that last
Grub-ageddon.
one. Grub-ageddon, Grub-ageddon, Lennon. This is
Everybody
not
get down.
a drill.
Grub-ageddon. It's upon us. Oh, no.
Look at Yuji. He's already taken shelter, moving to the other side of the map. And there it is. TLC have 6 grubs. For Jenkins, who's been having a good time farming out in this top side, it means that any opening he gets from Niles roaming to hit a turret, it's just going to do that much more damage. If they're not careful, he could get that first brick all by himself.
Now I'm feeling like Yuji's a Vault Dweller from Fallout here. He's coming out after Grub-ageddon. He wants to find something out on the Rift. Oh, speaking of finding something, I don't know if that's the 2v2 you want to take. As you know, Prom Jake's pretty strong in a 2v2 matchup. You're just hoping that Spawn can make it out of that lane.
Right, and at the moment, is Drake coming up? I mean, it's another Drake that Maryville should have a pretty easy time getting. TLC may have a slight lead, but a lot of it is on this top side. But Yuji, before that Drake, he wants some bot side action. But no
he
flash
wants a little
dragon
as an appetizer before the big dragon.
Yeah, they don't want you to know this, but those little dragons, they are delicious.
Look at this. It's gotten real dark real quick. Speaking of some vision being taken out here by Maryville, so it'll get a little bit darker for Team Liquid to see what's going on. Dragon is up. Maryville in prime position for it.
And I like this. They're not starting it right away. Jerry and Zyko are sitting in and around that brush just to ensure Yuji has that fast path, especially with this ward spotting out Keel. And this should be an easy secure.
Or will it? Finally,
right,
the back does come through. It's just going to take a little bit of time. You know, we just wanted to sit around with the dragon for a little bit.
Oh, Pop, you know what it is? Keel just wanted to look at his opponent menacingly.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Locking eyes with the other jungler here is important. The dragon does go down. That'll be second dragon for Maryville, and onwards to the stacking goal. It will be a Hex Soul, it looks like, on the Rift, so that's even bigger that they've gotten the stacking going early.
Yeah, if they're able to secure this one, that would be such a huge boon for Maryville University. This is the strongest Dragon Soul. It works for pretty much every comp that you can think of, Lennon. And on a Jinx especially, with those individual Drakes giving you that extra attack speed, every little bit is so nice for this team.
Now we do check in. First items are completed pretty much across the board for Team Liquid, at least, with that little bit of advantage they have. They do have Static Shiv and Sundered Sky available for Maryville. So a little bit of power back onto the Rift here. And it's important to think about that as we move forward because, again, you're trying to look for stability for Team Liquid and maybe a little bit of proactivity for Maryville.
Oh. Hello.
Not going to find stability, though. You're going to find a little bit of aggression from Team Liquid. This is Niles under turret on an Aatrox. I don't know if that's necessarily the right plan, but they do try, at least, to get something up there. Yuji was around the corner to try to deflect.
Yeah, I mean, I like Keel showing his face, getting some damage on, just to end that play. It wasn't even about getting the kills, just so Jenkins can get that wave into the turret. And now, again, this topside domination from TLC, it's going to continue here, Mazel, because they're going to get this Rift Herald. And this could be a potential for them to either get this first brick on the top side or try and drop this mid lane. Maybe TLC could disrupt the Drake stacking from Maryville if they're able to get the fast track. Remember, Keel Roamer have a bit of a lead for themselves. That extra bit of damage could be the difference maker because, like MU, TLC, they're looking for that first kill so they can start resetting.
And you can really start using Roamer here even better, and that mid lane can crash down real fast.
Yeah,
and get the satchel charge on it. As we see, Mommy called in bot side, not going to do anything but clear the way for her little pup. And now Yuji looking for Keel. He has not been seen. Keel knows what's wrong now, but he does have to burn the Heartbreaker out. Wind becomes lightning. Audacious charge not available yet, but he will scoop up these chicky nuggies.
Going to be an easy pickup here for Yuji, and this is what we are talking about this player. The fact that the laners of Maryville are able to find these advantages, find this pressure, he uses it very well.
Get the concussive blows here on a Spawn. Spawn's going to have to flash out of traps. Scary Jerry taking an extra turret shot. Avenger beams from Captain America and Jenkins. They come down. The Glacial Fissure has already been utilized. Mega Death Rocket comes out too. Jenkins going to slice and dice his way out of there. Yuji has found an entrance but doesn't have much to follow up on it. Team Liquid just defend the base in bot side.
Yeah, so it ends up being a TP in response, and we're just going to go back to that status quo at the end of the day. That wave does get pushed into that bottom turret, and this is nice for Keel as well. He doesn't necessarily drop the Herald. He doesn't have to, but getting that first frick for himself on this Viego, where he needs every bit of gold he can get, is a really nice thing for TL.
Just taking advantage of the map state as well. I think that's a big heads up to Keel, a guy who I feel like has had a huge brain when he's been at ACL, the way that he passes around, the way he plays macro. And again, not a lot of the times the team may be following him up in that regard, especially in the early parts of the split, but we've seen more consistency in that. And a consistent focus for Maryville has been trying to take down this Croc. A Q3 will hit, but Jenkins will make it out alive yet again.
I mean, kind of respect. He dodged pretty much all of those abilities, and he actually walked up to hit Spyrax a little bit. It's about sending a message, buddy. I'm not afraid of you.
That's what it's about. That's all that League of Legends is about.
Yeah, true. It isn't about hills, gold leads, macro play. It's about the dopamine plays. Let's be real.
I agree with that. I'm all about the dopamine plays. Keel is hovering mid. He does have Rift Herald available. I would think that this is where they would want to go with it, but maybe going anywhere Roamer is could be the idea here. Now, Kim Down is unlocked on the map with Keel. We said that was a really big trio for Maryville when they get Zyko out there, but I feel like Team Liquid have a little bit of strength themselves with the Keel-Kim Down matchup.
Yeah, that's the thing, because again, Keel and Roamer, Kim Down has that support item built as well, so he is pretty tanky. There is an opportunity for TLC to make a play happen, and I'm thinking, yeah, with Keel hovering where he is right now, that's probably where this Herald is going to go. Drop it mid, get yourself some space, and set up some kind of death trap so you can blow someone up instantly.
We're just getting a lot of drawing of the eyes in mid lane continuously. Fighting over pole position because there is a dragon spawning in about 15 seconds. Team Liquid do not want to give over a third in a row with a Hex Soul.
Yeah, Smolder isn't quite at the 225 stacked mark. He did hit that first threshold there, so there's a little bit of extra damage coming through, but isn't quite what you're looking for. Whoa, Spawn!
All right. We're driving circles and right into the wall.
Okay.
Just didn't want to commit because, a little dragon coming out of that probably dies.
You're probably right.
It didn't even charge.
Yeah, because if you hit a wall, it doesn't charge.
Refresh. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it didn't give you the space you want. I don't think TLC are gonna get this trick.
Maryville here. Spyrax moving in over the side. Niles able to separate. Roamer just wants to get the turret, and that might just be fine for Team Liquid. They will have to fight over the next dragon, though, if they do not fight over this one. And Niles sitting there with the pincer maneuver. Dragon getting low. Maryville, they know. Okay, they will secure the dragon. The Mega Inferno Bomb does go a little bit wide there.
Oh, all right. Well, TLC, it's a tough call there. The Herald not getting the charge that they wanted, not giving them the position that they hoped for, means what was already going to be a difficult fight was something they could just not actually go for. So it is going to be that fourth Drake, like you mentioned, Lennon. That's going to be the crucial moment here to see if they can stop the Soul from going.
Niles playing with Jenkins, and Zyko comes out of nowhere. He actually gets the concussive blows onto him here too, and that CC chain might just be enough. Jenkins going to heal up a lot. That rage bar doing work. He actually survives so long here. Another round of concussive blows lands. Q3 is not going to be enough. Oh, he tries to flash for it. The Q2 wasn't in range.
I respect the vision, Lennon. That's what I'm going to say there. And you end up getting flash and ult out of Jenkins, so it should give you an easy chance at this turret. Oh, he's fine.
Walk around the corner, has Spyrax right behind him, and now he is perfectly fine. Trying to take down Keel himself. Now, the tables turn yet again as Zyko's coming in. It's back and forth and back and forth, and now Team Liquid in a 4v4 will end up backing off.
And at the end of the day, Maryville, they hold on to their red buff. That's what they wanted from that exchange, Lennon. Right, guys? Okay. Every time he throws that out, I get nervous. So, like, is he going to steal it? There's that steal potential.
It's about that mindset, right? You just always got to be trying for it because you could make the biggest difference in a series that means so much for both these two teams.
I mean, we got to give props to Roamer, too, for the glow up. I think he's had the split. I may need to hold that thought because he's in a little trouble.
He's fine. He does the satchel charge, cool Q throw like cool guys do, and he makes it out alive easy.
They don't look at explosions.
it's been an interesting choice from Team Liquid to pick up Roamer, but he's been a welcomed addition, especially in the last half of this split, and really has turned up. And Keel throwing so much praise at him when we talk to him, saying he thinks he's the best mid in our league.
And I think Roamer has looked really good in playoffs as well. Again, it is always that idea of adjustment when you pull a player from another region and you bring them into North America. So, of course, there are going to be growing pains, but the fact that Roamer has gotten past them is really promising and has been part of why TLC have started to look really good in the back half of spring.
Now we see Team Liquid about 2.5K in the lead. They also have 2 items on both Spawn and Roamer. That's a big power spike there. Not the 3 items just yet, but you're at least advantageous over Maryville University, and you can utilize that to some extent. Speaking of Jenkins, you got to know that they were trying to get you down here. Consistently visiting this Croc. As now get locked down. Win becomes light. This time he might actually go down. He does end up using the slice and dice beautifully and gets out alive again.
Still, you get the ult out of him, and it's pretty good timing too, because you give Niles this opportunity to just go ahead and knock down a turret. Problem is, look what's going on topside. Roamer unattended as a Ziggs. He's going to pick up a big chunk of gold. The problem is, everyone's looking for him.
Yeah, you got the TP in for Niles as well. They will punish Roamer in the side lane. He did get a tier 2 tower. So literally Maryville got 1 turret. They have lost all their outer towers and a tier 2 tower in top side, and they are losing structures back to back. Now UG does have to pop the Crescent Guard and get away from Team Liquid's aggression in mid lane.
So all these ults, they'll come back in time for the Drake. I want to see the Smolder stacks, actually, if we can. I just want to know where Spawn is at and how close he's going to be hitting. Please, oh great wondrous observer Kai, could you show us the stack count of the Smolder? Thank you so much. 210 guys. About to hit that big threshold a minute before this next Drake fight. And if Spawn's able to do that, this is the turnaround that TLC are looking for. If Maryville get that Drake, though, they will have so much team fighting power with that Hextech Soul as well.
And we've seen Team Liquid in this position so many times beat down, and it has flipped on them in such a negative way. Finding consistency, finding ways to close out leads is the big spotlight for Team Liquid right now. And even if they have this advantage, they need to close out cleanly, and it starts by denying the Dragon Soul.
And that's going to be the first touch at this mid lane. And then moving down towards this bottom side river. You can see teams are posturing, trying to find out whatever angle they can get. It's Maryville who end up getting the first position here. Spawn, it's worth noting, he's 5 stacks off. He's not actually quite there yet, and there isn't a wave for him to actually play for. So this is actually a tough spot for Spawn to be in. Hey, this is actually really late.
Yeah, it's a little, oh my god, Kim Down just getting chunked there. Mega Death Rocket goes a little bit wide. Kim Down get low. Mom is called. You got scared. Jerry about half health here. Keel is looking for it. You just need a couple more hits from Spawn and Team Liquid can step forward. That is huge, and the resets are what we're looking at now for Keel once Spawn gets online.
And this is tough. I mean, you can see it. Scary Jerry, he has to recall. He's lost so much of his health, and now the hope is Maryville are going to be able to stall. It is a Hex map, so he can get here a lot quicker than usual. But even still, the Drake is going to be started. People are backing and teleporting.
Team Liquid have TPs. Oh, Kim Down not going to be able to pull the trigger on that back. He needs to stay here. Niles over the wall onto Jenkins. They are into the pit now. UG getting that burn put onto him by Spawn. Spawn is the most important member right now. Crescent Guard comes out, but the execute, it's still there. Keel gets the reset now as well. Keel's starting to do some work now as the Elder Dragon. Little one from Spawn doing work. He's got another one. And now Maryville run to the hills, but those hills have eyes. And Team Liquid will take their first dragon here.
And it's looking like this is the beginning of the end here for Maryville University. TLC, they ran the early game, they got their leads, and now they managed to deny that Dragon Soul. And Jenkins, sorry, buddy.
Give over the kill to Scary Jerry, a shutdown to boot. Meanwhile, Team Liquid start up the big purple worm.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good. You're going to take this one at a pretty decent pace, and it's a really nice punish for the fact that so many people showed up bot side from the side of Maryville. This is going to be a big injection of gold for Team Liquid Challengers. Lennon, they have everything they need to close this game, and they also have a fully online Smolder. Surely this is the game that they close out.
In Fearless, sometimes you have to go over some big weaponry, and Team Liquid have brought out the big guns for this game number 2.
And really down to the wire, but Spawn was able to get that big stack threshold. And you can see it. Yuji gets chunked down. He loses so much of his health instantly. And as soon as the jungler goes down, you can see it. The top jungle of Maryville were separated from the rest of the team. They're also taking damage from the apparent 6th member, that Hextech Dragon. I guess Spawn was doing a little dragon whispering.
Hey, I mean, dragons talking to dragons feels about right here. Spawn going to be the main threshold of how Team Liquid can approach these fights. Maryville just trying to pick apart other parts of the map themselves. But they have a very difficult entrance into this one. And it might be one of those situations where you're like, you know, we gave Smolder over. We couldn't get an early lead. You just kind of chalk that one up to a big old champion there. And a lot of difficulty in navigating that one.
And you're seeing now, too, Maryville are in a kind of a difficult position, not only because they're not able to fight right now, but also, think about this. You're going blow for blow, trying to trade turrets, but it's so hard. TLC have Drubageddon, they have the Baron, they also have a Ziggs who knock structures down like they're made of paper. So you aren't actually able to trade in any effective way. This gold lead has ballooned up to 5,000, and TLC, they're off to the races.
Yeah, it ain't stopping anytime soon either. They still have minion waves. At least they're going to be crashing in mid lane as well for Jenkins. They do still have the cannon minion down here, but they were able to get some lasting damage. Everything but the inhib turrets are gone from Maryville.
And it's tough. As soon as they see Niles show up on that top wave, TLC are going to feel really good about sieging on into Maryville's base. You can even see it. Niles right now, he is sitting in fog. He doesn't want to show.
Yep, he's going for the deep one. It's a long con here. Oh, I think his team might just get melted down. Mommy coming in, but blocked off by Zyko. Here comes Niles. He finds Spawn in the middle of the flat.
Oh
Big Mantra Q, and Spawn is gone. Shutdown goes over to Niles. Now Niles looking over on Keel. They actually end up finding Roamer as well. Is this the beginning of the end? We've seen this time and time again. That huge lead cut down.
It is a big deal that Maryville pick up so much gold, but they're still behind. And that deep flank, you're only going to be able to execute something like that so many times, Lennon. So this is good, but I don't know if it's actually repeatable. This flank was so deep that they didn't have any way of actually knowing until it was too late that Niles was here. That's why you're seeing the late TP come through from Jenkins. And because it was a huge play, it was really nicely done. I just don't know how often they're going to be able to do this.
For me, the microcosm is the exact thing we set out for Niles in the draft, right? You find flanks, you find those Q sweet spots onto the very squishy Roamer and Spawn. That's the difference maker. And I think we saw the setup there that time around. But again, it's about finding that again. Finding that in another minute's time when you have a soul going on the way of Maryville, and Team Liquid do not want to give that up.
That's the other thing, too. There wasn't an objective that they could take. No Baron, no Dragon, but if they do it again and get themselves a Dragon Soul, that is Maryville's way back into this one. And what's got to feel good for them, you're seeing Scary Jerry hit that 3-item power spike with that IE purchase coming through. He does a lot of damage. So you just need the setup. You just need to get him in a position that he can start resetting, and then it is possible.
That lead down to only 1,000 now for Team Liquid.
Yeah.
They were so far in the advantage. Now, items tied up. 3 items for big carries. Everybody here for this dragon fight. Niles on a flank.
Yep, they don't know where he is.
Oh no.
They're going to pull it.
Okay, they do spot him out in the end, so he'll have to wrap back around. Team Liquid are going to utilize a little of the minions in mid lane to get some priority here. Niles going to clear that one up, but here we go.
This one is tough. The poke from this baby dragon in spawn is quite impactful, and you can see it. They're corralling Maryville, who are trying to set up an opportunity for Niles. Again, you got to keep track of this Aatrox. If he gets on top of them...
Oh, he's going in.
Whoa.
They have the Q sweet spot on Spawn. Spawn can't get away from Niles. They Q sweet spots, and they got him. That Elder Dragon is no longer available. The shutdown goes to Roamer. Roamer goes down, though. Maryville looking for more. They find an excited Scary Jerry, and boy, Maryville, you gotta get excited. They take the lead for the first time, and they take full advantage of Team Liquid's lacking.
And it's 2 games in a row, Lennon. The comeback potential for this team is unbelievable. This is the Maryville that reverse swept DSG just yesterday. Yes, way, Lennon. They
No
are
way they
locking
win
on
right now.
TLC's base.
No way they win off of a deja vu fight from last game. Literally the exact same thing happened
Jerry's
last
excited.
game.
We got to see. This one is tough. This is pretty risky, but Scary Jerry, look at the damage on these turrets.
He's going to get excited once they take it down. Now they can turn the fight because there was only one turret here. Spawn going to use Mom, and they might be able to find Kim down. There's the execute coming online,
Okay,
and Maryville have to back away. Spawn, the savior of Team Liquid in game number 2. Here comes the Mega Inferno Bomb. Some burning going to be here. Flap, flap, flap going to be available over the wall too, but those traps will stop Team Liquid in their tracks. Here comes Romer, though.
Okay, they should be able to get away. They do have the Hex portal to play with. They do lose the Dragon. That is a little tough, but the fact that they have been able to twice in a row get on top of Spawn in these fights, Lennon, we needed this to be repeatable for Maryville if they wanted to win the game, right? And they did it twice in a row. And this is a Smolder now who has no flash, no ghost. They make a fight like this happen again soon, that's going to be a 2-0 for Maryville.
What did you say? Niles had told them, listen to me post 30 minutes, and here
That's
we
right.
are. Niles, Captain America, has found multiple entrances. TP coming in from Jenkins. He wants to get this flank off. He wants to get a turn play. He's going to pop that Dominus. He gets everybody turned on him. Here comes Team Liquid. They already take the Dragon. Mega Inferno Bomb onto multiple members, but that Crescent Guard's going to be huge. He's trying to save Scary Jerry here. 4-man knock up there.
Oh,
and you start getting a reset city here. We got tickets booked for Keel.
This is a good fight coming through from TLC, but there's still super minion waves they need to deal with. You see the pings coming through from Maryville. There's a chance for them to go for this Baron. We're going to take another look at this fight. You're just watching as Maryville. There's no angle to actually deal with this thing. So I like this angle from Jenkins. He's so tanky. He has the Sterix. It just takes so long to kill him. So it's that perfect setup for Yuji to flash, or rather Keel, excuse me, to flash onto Scary Jerry.
That depth charge from Chem down so big in the moment over the wall as well. That was Scary Jerry's first death of the game, giving over a nice little shutdown. But we are looking at 4 items on this Jinx, getting close to 4 items for Spawn as well on the other side.
All eyes are on the Baron. This game has been back and forth the last 10 minutes. TLC finding themselves back in a small lead, but not in a great position to actually start this Baron.
A little contentious, though. Team LC have re-grabbed the lead, but a lot of respect being paid over towards the compositions. And honestly, this is exactly what I expected when we got these drafts coming into this game, too. It's going to be non-stop 5-on-5 post 30 minutes, just banging.
All right, and we're in a position now. Look at Spawn. His Ghost is back. His Flash will be up very soon. So this will actually be a pretty decent position for TLC in some of these fights, as long as he can stay away from Niles, as long as he can avoid damage from Scary Jerry on this Jinx. You can see it, TLC. They're trying to set up for this Baron, clear what vision they can, because somebody has to answer this bot wave very, very soon.
The calm before the storm beat down. The tension is so thick, you could cut it with a butter knife. A ticket to Los Angeles in the Riot Games Arena on the line with this best of 5. Your season on the line with this best of 5. We saw Maryville have a huge reverse sweep yesterday. Team Liquid do not want to be put in the same position.
And Maryville, quick hit on the Baron, but not actually going to start it up. I like this. They want to wait till Romer shows because, again, you have a bot wave that is just auto-pushing for you on the bottom side. So you can take your time with this. Push this mid wave. Walk back to the Baron. Make this uncomfortable for Team Liquid Challengers.
Looks like they're going to do just that here. They're going to push over towards the Baron. Romer is on bot side, does have TP available to get over here, but it's going to be a little bit late. Look at Niles. He's on the flank. TP coming in.
Niles, he still has the angle with the Blast Cone. Surely TLC or Maryville are going to look to turn.
Mom is called off there, blocked in the face by Zyko. He's getting engaged on now, though. Jenkins, he finds the pack line. They get the depth charge there, too. Potentially Spyrex getting burned down to a crisp, and that's 1,000 sweet gold over. Now Team Liquid, they got to find something on the Niles. They are starting to get burned down by Scary Jerry themselves. He's able to shoot some rockets back, but Spawn is so safe. Scary Jerry not going to go down. It is literally a gunslinging contest between Spawn and Scary Jerry.
Man, so many blinking health bars, and no one can actually go for the Baron. It's good for TLC as well. Because they got that advantage, it's going to give them time to clear out these waves we're seeing in their base. and we're going to see the replay again come through. It's just this game of dives, it feels like, onto the opposing carries. It's always trying to pressure Spyrax, trying to pressure Scary Jerry to make sure, whether it's the Jinx or the Smolder, that the carry is not doing any damage.
It's so crazy because it feels like a chess move. As soon as you move your queen or your king out, which is Spawn and Scary Jerry at this time, it will be full on focus. So both of them have to play with a ton of respect, and both of them showing out so heavily in this series as a whole. And we're only in game number 2. A big shout out to Scary Jerry, who's been the up-and-comer, it feels like, but Spawn trying to maintain his status as one of the best ADCs in our league, and the reason why he had gotten called up to LCS.
And Spawn's a player who in the past, last year, we wanted to see more aggression from him. Trying to make plays. He did that when he was playing for Team Fish Taco. And it's looking like he is still that player so far this split. Flashing forward, making plays happen. The thing is, though, he has no flash for this next fight. Scary Jerry does. So he has a big target on his back.
Spyrax will be spotted out by Jenkins. Keel is down here as well. Spyrax puts himself in a terrible position, just gets completely soloed out. Niles gets baited by his teammate. They're going to buy time while Maryville do the Baron on the other side.
I mean, that is going to be a big takeaway coming through here. Niles buying space is really important. And even if they traded for the Drake, it isn't the Dragon Soul. So Maryville, big injection of gold into their pocket with that Rally Cry Baron buff, and another opportunity for them to knock down some more turrets. There's still mid and top tier 2 turrets available, Lennon. That's more gold in their pockets to get to some of these last items.
It is terrifying to give this team, especially with the Smolder, 3 Hex Dragons and a potential 4th one for a Soul. They do so much damage on the little pokes, and Spawn is almost at 400 stacks now. Team Liquid, they have the tools, but it all comes down to how you utilize them.
And again, I really can't stress how much I want to see Maryville try and punish Spawn, who is flashless right now. Because you said it, 400 stacks, he's very strong. And with that in mind, if he's able to free hit in these team fights, if he gets his flash back up and can participate comfortably, he's going to be able to rip Maryville to shreds.
That'll be the big kicker here. A couple different things going right for Team Liquid can lead them to a tying of the series, but the fact that we're here in the first place, the fact that we're 38 minutes in a game where Team Liquid had holistic control for a lot of it, Maryville, they've been definitely sneaking up on this team a little bit.
They have been 2 games in a row now. You can see Maryville starting to mount that comeback, but this one is tough. They have their work cut out for them in this last game. And this has been a contentious one. We're hitting that 40-minute mark really soon, Lennon. 6 dragons apiece. Someone is going to get that Dragon Soul in 3 minutes.
I'm just waiting if we're going to get an Elder Dragon fight now, too. I expect this to go like 50 minutes unless somebody actually takes a big fight. They've both been playing so reserved that as soon as one kill goes down, everybody backs off. They don't want to give any more snowball over. But the biggest thing now is Scary Jerry's on full items on a Jinx. I don't feel like I've seen that in the longest time, but we're going to see it now.
It is a lot of damage. As long as he's able to free hit, can contribute. But again, the Smolder, 407 stacks, that extra damage, it cannot be understated. Especially as both marksmen get towards that level 18 mark. But Maryville, they're going to be able to use this Baron buff, knock down some more turrets, and they have Spyrax on the other side as well. Doesn't have the buff, but able to threaten the inhib.
Spyrax did leave himself out to dry a little bit last time he found himself on bot side, so they played a little bit more reserved there. I thought he could catch out Jenkins, but they won't be able to get that inhib anyways. They do some lasting damage. They'll move on to mid lane as well. They still have the Baron buff for another 20 seconds. See if they'll be able to use this crash. It's a minion wave, just going to take a little while.
Niles has an angle.
He wants to look for it. Mantra Q goes through. Yuji's taking a brunt of damage here. He's going to get CC down. That's the second time in a row that Maryville have been caught with their pants down. Mom comes through. Mega Inferno Bomb rather comes out. Yuji's still alive somehow. Finally goes down. And now Niles over by himself. Oh, God. That's a Mega Death Rocket kill for Scary Jerry. And boy, he's looking excited. I can see the smile on his face from here. And Maryville strike back. It is a 1-for-2 in favor of them.
And these teams are just socking each other back to back, going blow for blow. And you're seeing the teleport immediately. They have that numbers advantage. They're going to try and push this bottom inhibitor, and they should have everything they need to do exactly that.
We're going to use the satchel charge to get away, but this inhib is the focus right now. You got to still be careful for Spawn and Keel. They get one CC chain. The resets will be there. Spyrax gets a chunk from a 1Q spot from Spawn. The inhib is desperately trying to hold on. The Glacial Fissure will be flashed out of by Spawn, and that inhib goes down too.
That's a great trade of resources if you're Maryville. That's got to feel good and something you hope to be able to capitalize on. And especially as we get to the next Drake, a minute 20. Remember, Lennon, this is it. Someone is getting their Dragon Soul here, and whoever does, that's a big buff that should honestly help you win the game.
41 minutes in, and it's a dead even game. About 500-700 gold on either side, and my goodness, what a stressor.
And we're going to see that replay. Jenkins with the angle, again, doing his best to try and threaten Scary Jerry, but I like that Spyrax is staying near him alongside Zyko. They're peeling for him because he's the carry this game. He does so much damage. Saw that Mega Death Rocket coming through, and again, one kill comes through, and Scary Jerry gets excited. It's that first blood, that first blood in the team fight that both these teams are looking for.
And what a glow up for Scary Jerry this year has been. It felt like last year he was still learning the ropes in terms of this league and really coming online. And this time around, him and Zyko have been nutty. And him himself has been a huge carrier of the Maryville flag. And now sitting at 6-1 on the Jinx. It's been a long time since he's been under the colors of Converse University, but here we are, all this time down, and on a big match, he's showing up.
And I'm glad you mentioned Zyko too. I think we kind of let him fall to the wayside a little bit this split. I think he definitely deserves some love for his part in the improvement of this bottom lane. It's looking like it's all culminating here. It's the Dragon Soul.
It's already gone.
They got it.
Mom gets called there, but it's just a little too late. Team Liquid lose the Hex Soul to Maryville.
And you see the pings, TLC. They're just going to look to try and get the Baron in trade. It's still 20 seconds away. There isn't much gold to spend for anymore, and Maryville got a big buff for themselves with this Hextech Soul. So they just got so much teamfight power into their pockets, and in fact, they can actually look to pressure in the river if they want to.
Turret.
Oh, yeah. The Super Wave's doing work in that regard, and because Jenkins doesn't have TP, it's really easy for Maryville to just walk in here and get some vision on the Baron.
You see Maryville just start up the Baron right now. Keel is here. A 50-50 is in tow. TP coming in. You're still missing multiple members from TLC. There's literally no way for them to get here. Spawn, Keel, Kim down. It comes down to you. There's no give. That is a Baron on top of a Soul, on top of a lead for Maryville.
Maryville looking like they have everything they need to close this one down. Again, we're seeing final items come through. Pretty much everybody is close to full build, so gold leads aren't really going to matter that much anymore. It's just going to be about the stack count for Spawn and whether or not, again, I keep stressing it, but it's really all that's left in these team fights. It's just getting the opposing carry out of the picture and getting yourself that first kill. That's what it comes down to.
It's the bread and butter of how Team Liquid can assign themselves victory here. And it all comes down to positioning. It all comes down to Spawn. He's almost on 500 stacks now, a little bit further off that 40, away from that mark. But it has been a tenacious Maryville University. I feel like that's a big word to use today in the series so far. Good one. And even with a lot of the early advantages for Team Liquid Challengers, this has been, I feel like, the biggest kryptonite for them so far this split.
Yeah, I think so. And the hope is that they don't fall victim to it once more, because again, this is that lower bracket final. Both of these teams, while they have guaranteed themselves top 3, they're currently playing on their last life for a chance to play at the Riot Games Arena on April 1st, day after LCS Finals.
$5 for tickets. Go ahead and get those butts in seats.
That's right. We'll throw up a link later. I'm sure it's somewhere in the chat, but right now, TLC doing their best to make sure they don't go down 0-2.
They're losing mid lane, though, to Spyrax. They got to be careful overextending like that. It is just 3 members up there because Maryville are stretching the board right now across all 3 lanes.
Look at what Niles is doing, too. Like, he's already escorted a wave into the base. They are Baroned. It's a Baroned up super wave, and it's going to open up this mid-tier 3 turret and expose the inhibitor as well. And it's like you said, Maryville, they're affecting every lane at once. TLC have to spread themselves very thin to try and clear these waves. Luckily, you have Smolder and Ziggs clear these waves very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
But with this Baron buff, and he's still being up for another 50 seconds, you're probably still going to lose this tier 3 turret topside.
That's 2 inhibs down now. Maryville will back away. The pressure relieved for the moment. Spawn having held on the top side. That wave clear really coming in clutch. But this is the thing. When you get out on the map, you lose one fight.
God.
You literally have nothing left in your base. And as we look at the stacks, it is insanity.
Yeah, 13% health. That's your threshold. You fall under that, and anyone on Maryville get insta-executed by Spawn. That's just how strong he's gotten at this point in the game. He's pretty close to being an Elder Dragon himself, especially with the next one coming up in 2 minutes. So Maryville, they look like they want to close this one down soon. They're committing everything they have for maybe one last push to get the lead to continue their lead in this series.
So we look at the map state here. Maryville have completely mirrored what they were trying to attempt earlier, trying to get this topside tower away from Team Liquid's eyes. They will not be successful in that. They're rebuffed in the base. Even with that 2,000 gold lead, they'll back. We have an Elder in a minute and 45 seconds beat down.
Yeah, you can see it. Yuji, Jerry, and Zyko. They're just hanging out on this bottom side, trying to escort what waves they can. I think at this point, Zyko, you just need wards. You just need to back so that you can get proper vision control on this bottom side. Yuji has one last item to build. And I have a feeling this next fight's going to decide it all, Lennon.
Good indeed. As we get to it now, it is one reset that can deny or gift a game over to either side. And it's a very stressful situation. You have to remember, Maryville have been playing back-to-back-to-back series, and this is a tough one to be scuffling your way out of. And Team Liquid themselves, they had a little bit of a rest, but it has been a tough running for them. They were so close to taking down FlyQuest, yet so far.
Yeah, and that definitely got away on you, just knowing how close you were to winning a series like that, upsetting our first seed, the team that we all unilaterally agree is the best in the league. And Kiel still maintains that they are the better team. As a result, they just made those mistakes. And let's hope that confidence manages to play out for them. 30 seconds till the Elder Dragon. Lennon, this is only game 2, and it's all going to come down to this. Remember, guys, we're actually about to break the record for longest game this split. Literally less than 10 seconds away from doing so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this game is 100% going to go over that bar. And guess what? It's another
done.
Team Liquid game. As we get into
that's
it,
right.
Team Liquid will have found themselves in this precipice many a time. Maybe some of that veterancy, some of that growth coming in clutch. They will not see Niles until he rounds the corner here. They do not see him, actually.
Oh, no. I think he did get spotted.
I don't think he did. No, he definitely didn't. I mean, that Elder Dragon is not going to be the fight because it's the fight after Jenkins.
Huh?
Same. What? He's going to TP point blank, but it doesn't matter. Maryville, they're getting excited with Scary Jerry, and he's kiting them to hell.
Spawn is here.
Finally getting online. There's one execute. Can this be
happening?
a penta play for Spawn? He wants another one. He executes there.
One
more. Give him a couple more. That's a triple kill for Spawn.
And these spawn timers, they're so long. The fact is, all Jenkins needs to do is hold Niles back. He really needs to not die.
Oh, Spawn's here. Yeah, Niles backs away immediately. Spawn coming over to save his top laner there. But it is a calming of the storm for the moment as Niles going to get his Sterix pop.
Wow, and Spawn, he does so much in this fight. It's a triple kill, and you can see it coming through here. They're doing their best. Again, Niles finding these great angles, getting Scary Jerry the first reset so that he can try and get excited and do work in this fight. He's doing his best, but nobody's on Spawn. This baby dragon is perfectly safe in this team fight. The thing is, though,
so reserved.
Yeah, he's spacing really nicely. He is putting out so much DPS, but the problem ends up being that TLC, they don't get enough of a convincing win to actually get into Maryville's base. That's the issue here. So it's just going to come down to this Elder Dragon once again.
And Maryville not really in a position to contest this. All 5 members going to be down here after Keel comes out of base with those Hex Gates on his way out. Scary Jerry going to be a little bit behind the play, but it looks like we still will get a contest over that.
It's going to be a tough one. Again, eyes on Niles. He's looking for all the flank angles he can possibly find. And there it is. It's already starting. Trying to get behind the pit. He will be spotted on a ward. They need to get a ward down on the Dragon Pit. They're taking this down really quickly.
Elder getting a little bit low, half health there. Yuji is in the pit. Mami comes out, but it's blocked again by Zyko. Glacial Fisher out. Yuji needs to stay healthy. Yuji needs to stay in the pit, but it's starting to be blinking health bars for Maryville. This poke is coming online for Team Liquid. Niles going for a flank. This is big. This could be the game-deciding flank of the the second game. Oh, he can't get it. The Elder is still hovering so low. Spyrax gets a kill. Here comes Yuji. He's in the pit. Scary Jerry got it! Yuji got it! And it's gonna be Maryville with their own Elder! A complete and clean ace over Team Liquid!
And they make it happen in the longest game in the split, Lennon. Maryville, they're going to take it to one of our LCS affiliate teams. They're going to put TLC to match points.
What a way to do it, and Heartbreak City for Team Liquid Challengers. That's 2 games in a row they've had the lead, but Maryville rebuffed them both times, and they're 1 game away from a trip to Los Angeles.
Unbelievable. Maryville are able to clutch it out against what must have been like a 500 stack Smolder, and we're going to see it again in this last team fight replay. We have to see how this one took place.
It comes down to the flanks, the early poke, Spyrax picking them off with the mantra Qs, man.
Yeah, and a lot of poke coming through here, and you got to keep an eye on Scary Jerry. Like, you can see the damage done. He's getting this chip damage onto these members, and TLC, they're tanking this Elder Dragon. I think that's what ends up taking down Kim down in the end. And as soon as that opportunity comes through, as soon as the pressure from Niles in the back comes out, Scary Jerry's really getting value from that Bloodthirster, from that crit flume, and he's able to get that big shutdown onto Spawn. And that's the difference maker right then and there. You lose the Smolder, you lose the game.
And unfortunately, Keel is a little too early on that one. The Crescent Guard timing of the Xin Zhao actually incredible. In Maryville, they hand Team Liquid 2 brutal losses. We're going to have to see if this squad can pull it back for a game 3 and maybe give Maryville a little bit of their own medicine in a reverse sweep. We'll be back after a short break.
Introducing the new foot-long sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious foot-long cookie, foot-long pretzel, or foot-long churro.
Before this guy won this, he actually won this. And now these guys, they're trying to do the same.
He's looking for the killer instinct. He's going
Basu!
in. He finds 2. He finds 3.
Basu, you are utterly ridiculous. This guy is also trying to do what that guy did. And he didn't win one of those, but he did win this.
Welcome to the new era. A toast to our champions, disguised.
This guy played 1 split of LCS and then made semis at Worlds.
It's been a long journey, but I'm happy to be here now.
He's always been really good, but he finally made the comeback. Oh, and he did it with this guy. This guy won Academy, and he had some dreams.
I want to be like the best NA mid laner to go to Worlds, right?
Dokla, however, very, very low. Reinforced by the Senna ultimate. And the Pop Blossom is so awesome.
This kid? Yeah, this kid. He actually didn't win an Academy, but a lot of people thought he was good, and boy, were they right. This guy made Worlds his very first year as a player. It took him a while to get back. He even played with this kid. But then, they did all of this together.
Nobody thought they'd win LCS. Nobody thought they'd beat G2. It's time to change your minds.
You know all of these names, but do you know the names of who's next? The future of the LCS starts right after the LCS. Welcome to Challengers.